Another point to keep in mind is that Al-Bukhari is an Imam, and he's an Imam of Ahl Sunnah, and he's an Imam who follows the path of the Salaf. He follows the path of the Salaf, and he follows the path of the Salaf in topics like Al-Asmā was-Sifāt. His book, as we know, is a very unique, distinguished book, rahimahullah ta'ala. In fact, the numerous commentaries and elucidations and explanations and books that I mentioned earlier that try to understand the title and the hadith that's under it, all this reflects the great status of this book. In fact, in Kashf ad-Dunūn, whose author died nearly 400 or so years ago, it's mentioned that there are nearly 80 commentaries on Sahīh Al-Bukhāri, and I believe the number is much more than that. Some of these commentaries were authored by ulama from various madhāhib, from the Hanafi madhab, from the Shafi'i madhab, from the Maliki madhab, from the Hanbali madhab. Some commentaries were summarized. Some delved into deep details explained in the book. Some took a middle approach in their explanation. Some of the commentaries on Sahīh Al-Bukhāri were completed. Some of them were unfinished. Some reached us through the centuries, and some didn't. The point I wanted to emphasize by saying this is that the book has been blessed by a widespread of explanations throughout the centuries. And those who interpreted the book came from diverse backgrounds, not only in fiqh, which is not a problem, but they also came from diverse backgrounds in Aqīdah. Some were on the path of the Salaf, some were Ash'ari, some mixed opinions of both. Some had innocent mistakes that everyone makes. Others deviated totally from the path of the Salaf. Some twisted the words of the text to align with their belief. Many of the attributes that al-Bukhari rahimahullah ta'ala affirms and that he supports with ayat and ahadith, many of them are rejected by some commentators in one way or another. For example, some do ta'wil. Some claim an ijma'. They claim a consensus against the meaning that al-Bukhari rahimahullah ta'ala intended. Some argue that it's a hadith ahad, and because it's a hadith ahad, we don't accept it in matters of aqīdah. One of the all-time best elucidations of al-Bukhari that follows the methodology of the Salaf is Fath Al-Bārī fi Sharh Sahīh Al-Bukhāri, the one by Ibn Rajab. However, it's incomplete. The author only reached the chapter on funerals, and even between the beginning and the chapter on funerals, there's some material that's missing. And some of those who taught me said, had he completed that book, it would have been among the best, if not the best, explanation of Sahīh Al-Bukhāri. Not only because of his adherence to the Salaf in explaining Al-Asmā was-Sifāt, but also because of other details that he mentioned.